Hey guys, this is Agent Mindstorm, and welcome back to my survival series. Last episode we built sort of the basic outline of where the Mesa tunnel was gonna go, and in between episodes I put so much work into this thing you would never even believe it. Okay, for starters, as you can see, the entryway is now complete. There's like a little red sandstone mini temple thing here, and then it transitions the actual tunnel into like terracotta. And now if you notice the pattern of this terracotta is terracotta, white, orange, and so plain white, orange. That was just basically this thing shifted down one block because it would have looked really ugly if it was just terracotta, terracotta, white, terracotta. So it's terracotta, white, terracotta, orange. Orange kind of also looks like orange sandstone, a red sandstone. And then, now here's the part that really took a while. Just mining out this whole tunnel was probably the hardest part of the entire thing. For starters, this is the part that we built last episode. You can't tell, but let me go out to show you. Here we are. And basically, for one, I didn't have enough resources on me, and it takes forever to go back to the overworld and stuff, so I mined out a bunch of that, and that was pretty painful. I didn't have enough ice, so I mined out more of it. And then the most painful thing was when I realized that everything we had built last episode was built one block too low. And now I had already, in between episodes, gone and built the entire circular tunnel that you see now, just minus the packed ice, because there's just cobblestone under here, if you didn't know. See? And I built that whole circular tunnel, and then I realized it was a block too low, and it didn't line up with the portal on the other side. So I went back, rose the whole thing up, and now building it one block too low is a million times worse than too high, because you have to make sure you grab all the resources that fall, and it's just so painful. I eventually did it, though, and now, as you can see, the whole tunnel is here. I had to get so much packed ice from the packed islands. Now, we have two main packed ice biomes, and the one that I was using for this is the old one, which is sort of close to the ocean monument, and then I kind of ignored the newer one that we found way out east of the world. But I think that's because I'm not actually going to build a nether tunnel to the earlier packed ice biome, since it's been stripped of almost half of its packed ice already just for making these tunnels. And side note, it's really funny that the most time I've used the resources from the Mesa since building the Mesa temple is to build the tunnel to the Mesa. And now here's the opposite side. As you can see, it's another little mini temple, and then you go out into the Mesa, which I had to do so much mining there to get all this terracotta, which thankfully it actually has all these types of terracotta that we needed for this tunnel in it. So this episode, well, I only really have one goal, and it's to finish the walls of the Mesa tunnel so I can officially cross this off the to-do list. This is not a light task. Wait a second. Oh, that's just weird lighting. Okay. It is not an easy task because of how much you have to do here. Oh, other stuff I did in between episodes. Put the other dragon egg on top of the dragon stack that I didn't do that yet for some reason. I finished all the cobblestone outline for this tunnel. I had to mine out all the walls and ceiling too, because it was just kind of like 2x2. This is like 4x4, but with the corners still not mined. So, big change there. Then we got this white terracotta going in. I had to figure out all the terracotta types, design the tunnel, etc., etc. I had to get a bunch of glowstone, because that's what we're going to use to light up this tunnel, is glowstone, because it goes better with terracotta. Then sea lanterns do, because sea lanterns are blue, and we're not really using any blue in this red design. So let me think. The other tunnel that I can think would be really feasible and good to do in this same sort of crazy protected style would be the ocean monument tunnel, because that one also is, well, hopefully we're going to use it a lot, and it is for something sort of utility, I guess. And it's honestly the tunnel, we've already redesigned it twice. The first time it was just a normal tunnel, then I added packed ice, then I added the trapdoors, then I ripped them out and put the 2-wide system that we have now with the windows and everything, and now I want to do it again, but since we have functionally infinite prismarine, it would not be hard to build that tunnel at all. We have basically infinite cobblestone, since Farm Central is a thing, and I had to mine so much cobblestone from that I hope we'll never have to mine it again. But then also, I'm not sure why I built it like that, by the way. we have enough prismarine and sea lanterns to build the actual part of the tunnel. So the ocean monument tunnel should not be hard to build at all in compared to this one, which, like, I had to gather all this red sandstone and terracotta myself, because we don't really keep a store of terracotta or a store of red sandstone, especially, because this is the only place in the entire world where we found we can get it. So, yeah, I had to mine quite a bit of red sand just to even build this, which does raise the question of, by the time this tunnel is done, will there be enough Mesa left to come here? But this isn't just like a Mesa portal, it's also an entire south of the world portal. It was just originally built because it was a Mesa. Also, trying to pilot this boat over this without a side is horribly slow. This is terrible, and do you want to know the reason I'm going back here? It's just so I can get another pickaxe, because these two pickaxes are getting pretty low, and I like to save them so we're not going to let them break, obviously, so let's just head to the chest room, and yeah, we'll hope it works. Now, if they add those honey blocks, which, I mean, they are going to add the honey blocks for sure, they're already in snapshots, well, they're not in snapshots, they've been previewed. I'm hoping that when you fall on them, it, like, stops you from bouncing, but doesn't do any fall damage to you, like, it just kind of sticks you. Kind of like a cobweb, but less annoying. So I could replace the bottom of this thing from a slime block to a honey block, and then you would just splat right down, and I could make it so at the start it like pulls it back and then the normal system goes. I think it would work very nicely. Also, that's the first animal I've seen down here in forever. You usually never see animals down here since I'm taking up the whole spawn cap with my little island thing. I need to take a breath every once in a while. Where is our terracotta chest? It is... Here it is. Clay and terracotta. We have plenty... Oh my gosh, I don't know why I didn't raid this earlier. Okay, so we have the glazed terracotta, and we have the other colors, but what really is important is base terracotta, because that's the thing that's going to let us go back and forth with the boats really quickly, and then we need to get some of these backup diamond pickaxes that I get from the end cities. Like, that's just an efficiency 4 diamond pickaxe sitting there. And then we have some... We don't have a single iron one, never mind. And then once we get to this point, it's not really worth it. So, okay, we got one pickaxe. But it is an expendable pickaxe, and it's gotten breaking and efficiency, so I cannot complain. Now, I just want to use this elevator over here, since I don't think we use it enough, I don't appreciate it enough, and it kind of deserves credit. I mean, look at how cool this thing is. It works, and it's gonna still work on Bedrock Edition. That's one of the coolest things about it. I made it so it works on both versions. And I mean, that is my goal with everything in this world, other than the Guardian Farm, because I know the Guardian Farm is not going to work on Bedrock. But that's why I filled up every single chest there in a literally a week-long AFK session. So, yeah, here we are back in the Nether. I think this tunnel would be super easy to redo. Just get a bunch of concrete that looks like this same theme, put it down the hall, boom, easy hallway. So this hallway would be easy to do. This hallway would probably be just as easy, except that the resources we would have to use are a little more difficult, like nether bricks. We could use nether bricks for the stairs, though, and then, like, warts for the walls, and that one would be pretty easy, too. So both of those gates would be pretty easy. We're doing Mesa now. Farm Central is already done. So, really, the only hard one would be packed ice, because what do you theme a packed ice tunnel? I guess I could just put a bunch of snow on the walls. That's really simple. Yeah, that would work. Bunch of snow on the walls, snow blocks. And then Guardian Farm, which could be a prismarine design, which would be actually really neat. So, now, I've noticed if you can get the boat placed perfectly, you just go straight, and you don't have to worry about steering. Yes, I did it. As you can see, we can just zoom straight through this tunnel, and this is the reason we build this, because look how rapid this tunnel goes. That is the reason for all this. It makes it all worth it. And, you know, I just thought of something. When we transfer to Bedrock, if we find a glacier biome, we wouldn't need to worry about, like, an ice spikes biome ever again. But I still want to build the tunnel to an ice spikes biome. If you're wondering why we're doing this stuff, by the way, guys, this nether tunnel stuff is really the last few things I need to do before we go to Bedrock. And then I have a bunch of plans for once we get to Bedrock, but, you know, it'll be so much easier once we have a transport system established, and it'll all just be great. And I just realized that this is red sand, and this is red sandstone, and that really bugs me. So let's get out this pickaxe here. We need to get a bunch of white terracotta, which, as you can see, I've already been mining some of it. Thankfully, we've got orange, we've got base terracotta, and we've got white terracotta, all right in this biome. And this one didn't generate with too many colors. I noticed if you dig down deeper, you do actually find brown, because I had to dig down to find some normal terracotta. But basically, what I'm saying is this is not the best mesa biome, and I would have loved to find an actual hilly mesa biome here, like with the huge hills and the crazy spires and the little forests on top, but honestly, I'm not even sure if something like that exists in our Minecraft world, which is hugely disappointing, because that would be incredible to have something like that. And I don't get it. We've explored so much of this world, and this world seems like one of the weirdest Minecraft worlds ever. Just, we have so many mushroom biomes, right? Which are usually pretty darn rare. But we have one, like, that direction from this island. I'm not sure exactly. It's just out of render distance range. I don't know what that noise was. It's, like, right over there. You can't see it now, but I know it's there. We found it when we first came to this mesa. In fact, the episode where we found this mesa, I called it Flat Mesa because it was so disappointing. But eventually, I just kind of accepted it. Like, even the Woodland Mansion was so close to the world, even though it was a new thing. It was so close to, like, where I had generated terrain. I was really happy that it could even generate. As you can see, this is where I found the brown terracotta. We should probably figure out what's under it. Okay, so there's brown. Oh, and then just stone. So it goes brown, normal, stone. Well, at least we know we've got, like, this huge mining operation for terracotta right here. And yeah, look at all this terracotta. Terracotta, that name is so much better than hardened clay. For real. I don't know if you guys understand how much better the word terracotta sounds. It has a very nice flow to it. The double letters, terracotta, and it has 4 syllables, and it's symmetrical with 5 letters for each part of the word, and they both end with an A. Oh, it's such a nice word. Terracotta. Terracotta. Can we talk about this? Can we talk about how nice the word terracotta sounds? Because seriously, that is one of the best things about this game. I don't know why they accepted it being hardened clay for so long, and stained hardened clay. Think about that horrible word. Now it's just red terracotta, blue terracotta, or is it stained? No, it's just white terracotta. See, the name improvement is so good. Seriously, I'm so happy with... Can we talk about how the World of Color was like the least controversial update ever? It was pretty small, but it literally just made things better. Recipe book. Boom. You don't need to look up the Minecraft wiki every single time you want to craft something new. Then, parrots, boom, simple animal. Don't get in the way, don't provide a huge disadvantage. They are a little annoying with the shoulder mechanic, but whatever, who cares? And then, concrete, boom, awesome. Wool, brighter, boom, awesome. I cannot think of, like, a single feature that is just bad in the update. Almost everything added is either incredible or, like, only a little iffy. Like, there are a lot of people who dislike the recipe book. They say it takes away from the challenge. But let's be honest here, no one actually looks up the recipe. No one figures out recipes for themselves. If you say you're figured out the recipes for yourselves, you're lying. I'm sorry. No one has figured out the recipe for a piston by themselves without knowing that a piston existed. I mean, come on, that is such a dumb system, and I'm so glad they finally fixed it, and then they added the furnace recipe book later too, which is also great, and because the things you can smelt in the furnace are sometimes so random. I mean, as a joke, do you know how I found out you could smelt nether bricks? As a joke, I was like, this thing that you can't burn because it will just stay on fire forever. It would be funny if I put it in a furnace, and I put it in and it actually started smelting. What in the world? And now that's an experience a new player won't get, because they won't have to think, oh, that's weird. They'll just think, oh yeah, that's how it is. Because that's what the game told me. Because that's exactly how it should be. And, like, that just makes so much more sense to me. You should just be told what you can do. Because, honestly, let's be honest here. The fun of Minecraft is not in figuring out how to craft things. That is not the fun. The fun is in, once you learn to craft things, what you unlock to do. Once you can craft things, that's where creativity comes. That's where you have to figure out, okay, how do I put together all these different parts into something cool, that does something, that looks nice, and then how do I get the resources to make more of this? The crafting system is just a system. It is not a central mechanic. And yes, it's in the name of the game, but I don't... The name of the game is basically describing the gameplay loop. Let's be honest here. Mine, then craft, then mine, then craft. Also, now that we have this nice shoulder done here, we can ride an ice boat all the way down and not have to slow down. Finally, we can use the actual speed of the tunnel like I intended to. Now we just need to get a bunch of orange terracotta for the roof and a bunch of white terracotta for the other side. In fact, I kind of want to half do a time lapse. Let's just finish placing this terracotta and then see how I feel. I think we're probably going to do a time lapse. Let's be honest here. We don't want to watch me build this same tunnel and go mining and everything again. Wait, we have a bunch of white terracotta on us. We should probably place this before I start talking about all this time-lapse business. Let's place this just down everything that's done very nicely. And then we can ride the boat in the tunnel for real for the first time without that dumb shoulder. Okay, you guys only saw me do it like once or twice, but I had to do that so many times just going between the Mesa because the tunnel wasn't finished. The worst state for something to be in that's used for transportation in Minecraft is half finished. If it's not finished, then you just find an alternative way that works, like riding a horse or flying. But if it's half finished, you feel obliged to use it, but it's not quite good enough to fully be usable. Now that is annoying, let's be honest. That little gap is very frustrating, but whatever. So now we don't have to worry about where we put the boat, we can just hug the left wall and go full speed no matter what. Look at this. Ice boats are the best feature in this game, and the fact that they intentionally added it to Bedrock Edition makes me so happy. Boom. Okay, we're already to the Mesa. Think about how long that journey took on foot before we made this upgraded version of the tunnel, and think about how it did now. It just went like 5 billion times faster. Let's save, and then I'm going to do a little time-lapse here, because we need to build the rest of this tunnel. I'm done with working on this in between episodes, guys. Seriously, I don't think you even understand how annoying it is to work on this every single day. I come here day in, day out. Just kidding. I only did like 2 sessions. It probably took 5 hours or something. It did take a while, and it did feel really repetitive, though. So I'm happy that we can... Anyways, let's start the time-lapse. Do you see how much you miss when you just get to watch the finished episodes? That was 30 or 40 minutes, I don't know how many clips I recorded, of me just mining and then placing blocks. Do you realize how tiring that can get after a while? And that was just getting terracotta. Like, think of something more difficult than terracotta. Like, getting a load of cobblestone for a big project. Or something. Before we had the Farm Central stash. Oh my gosh, this is what you guys miss. Thankfully, I swear if I end up needing more white terracotta, I am disappointed. I am very disappointed. Because now I have to go all the way back and get 3 terracotta just so I can come back here and fill it in. Wait a second. I have a great idea for the title of this episode that can be this little thing right here. Hold the phone, because I have a good idea. That if the title for you is Terracotta Troubles, then you'll know that sweet, sweet idea went through. Anyways, yeah. Don't you love it when I just do this in the middle of episodes and tweak all my gamma and everything? Oh yeah, whenever I take a screenshot in a semi-dark place or in the Nether, I always turn up the gamma to 75, because if you look at my old thumbnails that don't have the gamma turned up, it is so hard to see anything, because, like, it's the Nether and it's really dark and the compression from YouTube makes it look horrible. So I need 3 blocks of terracotta, and then this tunnel will be done. Can we talk about how long this took? This took me so many hours. Even just recording this episode alone, I think I've recorded almost an hour now. And, that's crazy to me. That a simple little thing, like just making a long, samey tunnel, where I still haven't even put light sources in it, where I'm not going to do the light sources in episode, because I know you don't want to see me place even more stuff. But terracotta troubles are a thing that happens whenever you try to build. Okay, there we go. Boom. Tunnel complete. So now we have 2 tunnels in the new format that are awesome. This is why I like to upgrade these tunnels. And now, if you're wondering why I'm doing 2 blocks of ice, that's because on Bedrock Edition, it doesn't work the same way as our Ocean Monument tunnel. Like, it won't work on Bedrock the same. You need 2 blocks to be able to do it in a 2-way tunnel. But, like, this, just come in here, you walk through the Mesa thing now, and it's a little temple, and then you get on the boat, and you go through, like, a little Mesa thing. It's like what we were just mining, but here. And then you go all the way to the end, all the way, boom, crash, and then you go all the way over here. And guys, it just feels incredible. Imagine if we had built it with blue ice. Now, the thing, I would never have built this with blue ice, because we would have needed 9 times more ice. That's not a joke, we would have needed 9 times more ice than this. So it's very good we didn't do that, but if we had, it would have been so incredibly, ridiculously fast that I would never have even seen a point. I mean, it's awesome like this. This is incredible. I'm so glad we built this now. And it looks good. So yeah, that is going to be the end of this episode, guys. Thank you for watching. We built yet another tunnel, except this one was less agonizingly drawn out because it's all done in this episode. So for now, I do want to tell you all, thanks for watching, and I will see you later.